8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, so the question that I got here now is that would the industry allow Nintendo to do a 64 gigabyte game card, being that you could put more game on your disc, but there's money to be made for downloading half of it off of DLC or off of, it's easier for you to store half the game on your system's hard drive versus having everything in one neat little package that you could put in your system. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, here's the thing. All right. As far as letting Nintendo go ahead and do that,
well, they have no choice.
Nobody is going to sit there and stop them from doing that. The issue that we have a lot, the thing with the carts is the same issue that we're looking at between cartridges and CDs, DVDs and cartridges and stuff like that, is that when it comes to cost to the amount of storage that you have available, the cost goes up exponentially, okay? If Nintendo wanted to go ahead and release out a 2 terabyte fucking card, okay, that hosted their whole goddamn library, all right, because they don't need 2 terabytes to host their whole library right now, even including all of the eShop games and everything. They can go ahead and they can do that. It would probably cost you $400, but they could do that, okay? Because the NAND chips actually exist to go ahead and do that. The thing right now, though, is that what bothers me is that according to the news that we had seen like a few months ago, a lot of the Western developers and Western publishers didn't want to buy the 32 gig cards, much less 64, because they cost more, all right? So they went ahead and they settled on buying the 16 gig cards and then putting the single-player experience on the 16 gig card, and then if you wanted all the multiplayer aspects of whatever game that you got a hold of, whether it be Skyrim or Doom or anything like that, or NBA 2K, then you had to sit there and download like another 10 fucking gigs, okay, on top of that.
So what's interesting then is that the developers, from what you're saying, if I understand this correct, the developers are kind of, in a way, renting the card from Nintendo to put their game on and then selling it?
It's all part of.
Obviously, the developer has to buy the card from Nintendo to put the disc on.
Yeah. It's
the game on the disc.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. The higher memory capacities cost more. Okay, unfortunately, right now, like the what we have to sit there and we have to make an equivalent comparison to is the memory capacities of cell phones. Okay, yeah. Back in the day, if you had 16 gigabytes on your phone, that was just shit, okay? That's nowadays, that is substandard, okay? 32 gigabytes is now standard, okay? With the newest phones that are out, 64 gigabytes is what people want, okay? And the thing is that, yeah, at minimum. And the thing is that as far as supply and demand goes, just like with the NAND supply chips that they had, the issues that they had earlier this year, with that, the 32 gig NAND chips and everything, those are in low supply because a lot of those are being supplied out to all the cell phone companies. All right, with this new generation of cell phones that are out, guess what? A lot of them are latching on to 64 gig, and because of that, you don't have a lot of those available for other ventures like the Switch cards. Okay, with them going ahead and saying they're delaying it to 2019. I think all they're doing right now is that they're waiting for a better deal, okay? Because obviously if they go ahead and they buy these carts out and they buy all these chips and everything, they're going to buy them en masse. They're going to buy them by the fucking millions.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they're waiting for a better deal, all right? Well, right now, since 64 gigs is like the shit that all the smartphones and all the tablets want to go ahead and go to, it's really, really in high demand. They're not going to get a good deal on it. Okay, and you know, because of that, it's going to drive the prices of all the games up.
So
right?
It's a give or take thing, because you can either have your whole game on one card and spend more buying that card, or you're going to have to buy hard drive space, which, you know, external hard drives. I mean, unfortunately, the Switch don't have that capability as of this moment, but I'm pretty sure that's going to happen in the future. I mean, there is a USB port, for Christ's sake, on the side of it. I'm just saying. But whenever they get that functionality together. But Xbox and PlayStation 4 have external hard drives that you can just hook up. So it's either you're going to be paying for an external hard drive to put your game on it anyway. So, I mean, I think we're at a point where people wouldn't mind spending that a little extra money to have a higher memory card, because, you know, I mean, we all have PlayStation 4s, and our PlayStation, you know, the games that's on the PlayStation 4s, it's fighting for space. I mean, how many games have you had to remove to play the next game because you didn't have enough space on your hard drive? You know, I mean, because every time you pop the disc in, you need to download that game off of the disc, which I don't know why it still needs the freaking disc when you're already anyway. But so I think that there is a future in this, and that people, I think I'm okay with paying a little more for a higher memory card. I mean, a video game has been costing $60 for the last, what, 2 decades now? 20 years? Later, if you go back to the Chrono Trigger and all those games during the SNES time frame, you know, I mean, those were expensive. But so, I mean, are you willing to pay $70 for a game? So
as long as they don't go to PS Vita route.
Here's the thing. All right, here's the frustrating thing. All right, and this is even before we get to the Sony Dual memory and PS Vita M2 memory bullshit. Okay, because that's all that is bullshit. Okay, literally. All right,
that's why I have to mention that.
You know, and that's also the reason why, you know, there's an SD to Vita fucking set of adapters that's already in its 4th generation that's out there. Guess what? If you haven't gotten one and you're a Vita owner, get one. All right. I am not being paid to say that, but that's just how it works. Okay. Yes, literally, sir. Go ahead and fucking get one. All right. But before they can even get to that point, this is the disappointing part. All right. The Wii U, God bless the failure that it is, and I just barely set mine up on my entertainment center here, right?
God bless the failure.
He said, "God bless the
God bless the failure that it is." All right, because the thing is that it's a capable piece of hardware and everything, but guess what? It has support for external USB drives on it.
Yes, it does.
All right, so what in the hell is stopping Nintendo from building that in to the Switch?
Nintendo being Nintendo?
There's a few things that I think that might be the case, okay? Number one, if Nintendo goes ahead and they put that into the system as it is right there, it edges it more toward, okay, this is more of a dedicated home console. All right.
That's valid.
That's
valid,
part of it.
Because that was the whole purpose of the Switch anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the mobility of it, where you could just
Okay, so that's part of it. Okay.
Absolutely.
But look, here's the thing: Nintendo, just like everybody else, is out there that's a first-party fucking publisher. Okay. Well, okay. Let me try to control my language here, because I know we're not really a family-friendly channel, and we've been told that families do watch our videos. All right.
Hold that thought. That's all I have to say.
Well, here's the thing.
Look, that's all I have to say. I'm holding up I'm just saying. I'm holding up a 4 terabyte hard drive right here.
Yeah.
And it's mobile.
Yeah. Here's the thing, all right? If Nintendo is just like every other publisher and every other first-party publisher that's out there, they know that they have a chance to see higher profits and to see more money through digital media and everything, right? The problem when you're depending on digital media is that then you're dependent on the amount of storage space that you have attached to whatever device you have. Okay. Yeah. The thing with that is that as far as micro SD cards go, guess what? Theoretically, they can go up to 2 terabytes, but it's also going to cost me $500. Mm-hmm. Okay? It's going to be expensive. It's going to be extremely expensive to go ahead and do that. All right? Now, if I can go ahead and I can, that 4 terabyte portable hard drive that you have in your hand there, I know on Amazon right now, that's only like $120.
Yeah.
Okay? And guess what? I don't need a quarter of that to fit the whole of the Switch's library on it.
No,
okay.
I know where you're coming from, but what I was saying was it doesn't need an external power supply.
Yeah.
It's mobile. You know what I mean? I can't take my Switch and hook it up. No.
I was about to say no because you need the dock for that.
I need the dock, but
that's why I said earlier. As long as they don't go the fucking PS Vita route to come up with their own,
I don't think they
price and just have it Switch only.
Nintendo's never done that. Had a proprietary.
That doesn't eliminate them from trying
doing it.
That doesn't eliminate them from trying. So that's why I'm saying don't go the Vita route if you're going to do this, especially when it comes to not just micro SD cards, but SD cards fit into this thing.
Yeah.
So again, if you want to pay that much money for it, as the Reverend said, yes.
What have we promoted on these channels almost every time we talk about these things?
Pick and save cheap things for us to get. Never pay for shit again.com.
Oh my God, that's an old. But no, it's like that's something that we promote all the time is options.
Hashtag fuck the full price.
Fuck the full price. But no, isn't that what we do? We promote options. We want.
But don't do the wait. The Vita thing was an option too, but motherfuckers didn't do. Sony
no.
Freaking memory card that was as halfway expensive as their freaking console.
No. Sony didn't give you an option, okay? That is the antithesis of what we go ahead and we talk about.
I don't want the Switch to do that as far as saying, yes, you can only put this in the Switch, this is made for the Switch, and yes, it's $200 to get and hold all this memory.
Too bad with the Vita if you could use that card for something other than your hard drive on your Vita.
That's what I'm saying.
The purpose of it, and it costs $60 for 12
minimum
gigabyte or 8 gigabyte. I'm sorry,
but again, okay, like I said, call us, Nintendo bitches all you want, Nintendo fanboys all you want. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I still have very valid complaints and very valid criticisms of the Switch. Okay, I love the device and everything, but my complaints come from the fact that, like I said, Nintendo's last failure was capable of doing more things than the Switch is capable of doing right now.
True.
But you can't play it on the go as a Game Boy.
Except for that, okay? But generally speaking, if we're sitting there, we're comparing hardware to hardware, though, the Switch is a more capable device. It should be able to do the same things.
I'm still mad at Nintendo for not having a headphone slot on it. Okay.
Well, look. Your Switch is pretty much what they did was they took the what was it, the main screen on the Wii U,
and
shrunk it down to this, and this is what the main screen looks like now.
And just had your controllers attached to it.
Pretty much.
Sides.
That's
had a kickstand on it.
And I'm pretty sure that the screen is almost. Look, I'm just saying. There you go.
Yeah.
Look, I understand where they're.
One can be dropped from 1,000 feet, and one can't.
One can get replaced, and the other one can't.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I understand where they're going with this, but like when it comes to what originally started our conversation here. whether or not it's a big deal that we're going to have 64 gigabyte, capacity fucking carts for the Switch and everything. Look, and I'm sure Nintendo is going to have to come to some sort of they're going to have to come to some sort of consensus on how they're going to have to deal with external storage and everything else. Yep. Is that, when you sit there and you tell me that I can sit there and I can hook up, an external hard drive to the base unit of this fucking thing, all right? And all of my digital downloads and everything I can go ahead and I can use for that, whether or not it be a 500 gigabyte hard drive or a 2 terabyte mobile hard drive or anything else. You're telling me that this particular device, which is like 3 times as capable, all right, spec-wise, as the fucking Wii U, okay, is not able to go ahead and do that? Why the fuck did you put the USB ports on the side of the dock? That's me being honest. So really.
You know what, though? I mean, I don't think Nintendo really has to deal with what Xbox and PlayStation has to deal with. Is like I mentioned earlier, is that when you put a PlayStation game into the PlayStation or the Xbox, you got to download that onto your hard drive. With the fact that Nintendo uses the game carts as the game, it doesn't really encourage Nintendo to up their game with the memory, because they don't really need to, because all you're doing is saving a 200 megabyte game file.
But the thing about it is, if you're going to have a substantial library for this thing, you never know how much saves.
You're right. And the eShop.
Yeah.
And downloading games from the eShop. So
yeah, if you're going to insist on digital media, okay, or digital format games on this thing,
big capacity of memory,
yeah,
to have that.
Yeah, storage.
In order to see the foreseeable future and beyond, you have to cover all of that to say that, hey, for the next 5, 7 to 10 years, you're covered.
Well, the thing too is that Nintendo has proven with 2 games, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Zelda, that they can make massive games.
Yeah.
And they proved the fact that they have these huge open world games.
They've been doing that ever since the NES.
Huh?
I said they've been doing massive games since the NES.
No. But what I'm saying is, on the little carts, is what I'm saying is that eventually they're going to need that 64 gigabytes, because they're gonna. I mean, they're already working on the next Zelda.
Yeah.
And according to old boy, he's saying it's going to be bigger than Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm saying, wait a minute.
Here's the thing, like I said, if they want to give us an option, okay, especially if, just like every other publisher out there, they're going to be pushing digital options, all right? Digital media is something that's out there. Guess what? Yes, thank you very much for giving me a micro SD card slot, okay? But, you can't sit there and tell me, look, that's like me going out of my way and buying a brand new Toyota, okay? And then walking off the lot and then looking and saying, you're only giving me 3 fucking wheels on the car.
Some people will still drive off.
They're just not blowing it up. They're just not putting air in the tire.
Yeah.
Oh, and 30 years or 30 miles warranty, whichever comes first.
30 feet. Yeah. What are you talking about?
No. It's off a lot. You're fucked. All right. Okay. But seriously.
As long as you don't have to insert anything into the Joy-Cons in order to extend memory, then you'll be okay.
Well, see, the thing is with that, actually, I think that would be an innovation. I'm sorry to cut you off, Reverend.
Innovation? You've already had shit that...
Dude.
Remember the Dreamcast?
Exactly. That was my point. The VMUs.
Wait, you talk about innovation? I'm like, wait a minute, it's already been done.
No. I'm saying bring it back. Bring it back and put a Nintendo twist to that. I mean, that would be great.
Take your Joy-Cons out and...
I'm just saying. I mean...
So you're gonna... Okay.
This is
This is treading on fucking credit card slot territory. That's all I'm saying right now. Okay.
I was waiting for this.
Okay, that's all I'm saying right now.
I hope that never comes to pass in video game consoles where you have a credit card slot in the damn console or controller, as a matter of fact. Or worse, in the fucking cartridge game. Don't fucking do that one day. Please.
So, I mean,
maybe the Atari box is going to do that.
To bring this back, we just went right field. To bring this back.
All I'm saying is that there's NFC in the right Joy-Con. There's NFC in on my phone, and there's also Android Pay on my phone.
Yes,
if I fucking entertain it. So if I have to sit there and do this,
board a flight with your cell phone. I mean, come on. But no, let's bring this back.
I just thought about that glyph shit. And the scan, no! No!
I'm trying to bring this back in, man. Come on.
Yeah, but the thing is that we are this close to that bullshit. You know,
we almost got to that point. No, I will say bye-bye to gaming or Nintendo, whoever fucking does that first.
You know, it would be great if like in Japan. Wouldn't it be great if like you had an arcade cabinet where you can just put your Switch in there and like play your game on the arcade, like
just add a coin slot. Fuck it. If you're gonna do all that, just add a coin slot to your console. So when you got visitors over, in order for them to play it, nope.
Maybe I should start playing that Mahjong and all those games, you know, gambling games.
I got next.
Hey, for all you young people that may be watching this, you never had to put up with that. You never had to get rid of die 3 times and had to give up 25.
Look,
that was hell that the middle-aged guys and so many other gamers had to go through.
Spent your bus money on Next. I'm just saying.
And Next, sometimes if you weren't skilled enough, only lasted 2 rounds. Within maybe 30 to 45 seconds, so 25 cents for that long of gameplay. Imagine if you died in Call of Duty 3 times and had to give up a quarter.
Wow. What about Dragon's Lair? 75 cents a pop.
No, I'm never doing that again in an arcade. Thank God that's at home now. Thank God I can play it at home.
75 cents for 2 Dirks.
What? 2 Dirks.
With a big ass screen so everybody else can see how you died.
No, wait a minute. The funniest part about that was that encouraged you to get good because you never wanted to spend that much money again. So yes, memorizing the game, you spent maybe $25 to $30 in order to memorize the game, but
what does this got to do with 64 gigabyte game cards, man?
Because it's
everything, actually.
Can we
maybe go to that point? Nintendo you saying bring all that back?
If they bring all that back, give me the ability to store it on my fucking external hard drive, please. Okay,
I agree with you.
Go ahead and bring all that back,
but you need to freaking dock, and you can't do it portable.
But okay, that goes back to my point about the fact that they want to go ahead and they want to keep this shit portable. Here, look, guess what? Give me the hard drive as backup, all right? Because what they did with the Wii U, everything that you downloaded, everything could be backed up onto the external hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? If you weren't playing a particular game, but you wanted to go ahead and have it playable on your Wii U at the time, you just sit there, you go through the backup and restore fucking operation. 5 minutes later, it's on the fucking SD card for your Wii U, and then you can go ahead and you can play it. All right, that's what people are hoping for. With this, it doesn't need to be that convoluted. All right, but give us the option. We know you're capable of doing this, Nintendo. You did it with the previous fucking console. Okay, and guess what? By all accounts, this is not terribly different than this. Okay, it's at least not as far as the internal ways that works. Okay.
I said sales may say otherwise.
I will acquiesce that. I'll concede that point. Okay.
And the fact that you can't walk out the room with your Wii U pad. And you can do that with this.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if you could have put your games into the Wii U pad. I'm surprised that wasn't even an option.
That would be an interesting thing, is that Nintendo would make that backwards compatible for the Wii U. I mean, there's some great games on the Wii U.
Well, you already got Breath of the Wild. You already got the deluxe of Mario Kart 8. You already have Pokemon.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but you don't have Mario
fucking DX
and all these other games.
I mean, I know, but that's where I was.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean,
but see, that's the thing about it. The Wii U was a great system and had way more capabilities to do certain things, and Nintendo just didn't do it.
Well,
so now with the Switch
and the Vita, why would you go on the biggest stage in the world at E3 and call the Vita a legacy system?
I don't think they did that on stage.
You said that at the biggest gaming event of the year, and you're going to call your system a legacy.
Well, the smartest thing that Sony ever did on a stage at E3 was walk up on stage for the first PlayStation and say $299 and walk away.
Yeah.
No,
that was the smartest ever.
Instead, we have the Vita.
One was $600 for a PlayStation 3.
No, this was for the first PlayStation.
Yep.
I know.
When they announced, because when Sega Saturn was announced, they were like, "Okay, you can pick up one today." The hell you mean today? They launched the Sega Saturn and gamers didn't even freaking know it. So the very next day, when Sony had their conference, the dude that was like, I think the head of Sony at the time, walked up on stage. He had a speech prepared, but he ditched that and just said $299 and walked away.
Nope.
Because the Saturn was $399. We were done. Everybody was like, okay, why am I going to save up for that? And
here's the thing. The original topic isn't about the Vita or Sony and the PlayStation or it being a Legolas system running around with a whole bunch of hobbits and fucking a dwarf and a Dunedain, all right?
In the next 6 months.
But here's the thing, all right, with the Switch. Like I said, as much as I love this particular console and everything else, I still have criticisms about it, okay? And that's because, guess what? Knowing Nintendo, knowing what they're capable of, look, there's shit that they can go ahead and they can put on this console, and there are functionality that they can go ahead and they can make available for the Switch that they had in the Wii U, okay? Do that. I'm not expecting to go ahead and carry my dock and my external hard drive around with me when I travel, all right? I understand. Look, I understand, all right? But look, if you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that you're going to...
adapter for your dock?
You're going to sit there, there's a car adapter for the fucking Switch, all right? But look, if you're going to sit there... If you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that you want to go ahead and compete with everybody else and have an e-store and have an online marketplace and you want to have digital media just like everybody else, then you better give me that fucking option, all right? Whether or not your 64 gigabyte carts come out in 2018, 2019, or 2020, all right? Give me that fucking option, okay?
So do you think that there will be people that would say, oh, Nintendo. Actually, you know what? This brings up a valid point. Maybe this is the reason why they're delaying it to 2019 is the fact that Nintendo has been harshly criticized for not having enough of these to go around at launch.
Nintendo doesn't care about that. They're going to make up for that.
Oh, yeah. They're going to let the games speak for themselves.
Not just for the games. Motherfuckers are buying Switches. It's funny. By the time maybe I get one, maybe these options will come to play. Who knows?
You wait around.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. All right.
To the depth of the console, which will be in about 5 years.
Yeah. Here's the thing. whether or not Nintendo goes ahead and brings it out in 2018 or 2019, as far as these higher capacity carts go and everything, all right, I'm going to say one thing: you don't need that much storage space to create a good fucking game. All right.
Thank you.
For the fact that two of the Game of the Year candidates, all right, almost universally across the board, have both been on the Switch, and they both clock in under 16 fucking gigs. You don't need that much fucking storage space to create a Game of the Year fucking experience. All right. Yeah, you don't need that much for a quality game. That's number one.
How big was the Zelda game?
Zelda?
Yeah.
Was 14 fucking gigs.
There
was a reason. Yeah, no, there was a reason. Remember, if you had an 8 gig Wii U, you couldn't sit there and buy the digital version of fucking Breath of the Wild because it was 12 gigs.
Yeah.
All right. Same thing with fucking with Mario Odyssey. It's not bigger than 16 fucking gigs. All right. The whole thing about it is that Nintendo doesn't look. They don't have to worry about paying any sort of extra premium for licensing fees or anything like that. But they are conscious of the fact that look, the consumers right now don't want to pay more than $59.99 for their fucking games. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if universally across the board, if they start going ahead and getting these higher capacity carts that start shoving the price of their games up to $69.99 or $79.99, they already know that puts them in a bad fucking position. All right.
Remember the 64?
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, with that in mind, Nintendo, I understand where you're coming from, but you better get on the fucking ball here, and include some of the more capable fucking operations and functionality that were already there in your previous fucking failure of a system. All right.
It's funny because this requires a 50 gigabyte minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not including the downloaded content.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy, they're. Whew.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Final Fantasy 16 goes on the Switch. I mean,
Street Fighter 5 takes 19 gigs minimum.
Look,
Street Fighter 5.
And Nintendo knows that. Look. As far as the system goes, they can run the Unreal 4 engine Unreal 4 engine on medium settings. This is full Unreal 4, not the mobile version of Unreal 4, but full Unreal 4. All right. And if they want to sit there and they want it capable, if they want games to come out, other games that may be ported over to the PS4 and the Xbox One, or even the odd straggler off of PC, to be able to come to the Switch, the biggest issue that they're going to run into, the most immediate issue that they're going to run into is storage space. All right. And if you want to go ahead and address that, Nintendo already know that you know how to go ahead and turn on support for external hard drives to the USB. I know why you don't want to do it, because that makes the Switch very hackable for everybody else out there to go ahead and soft mod the fuck out of it. All right. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to.
Gremlin in there.
Look, I'm waiting for it too. All right, but they have to make that possible, because guess what? If the general consumer doesn't have that option, and every time they look at a new game, it's $20 more than what it costs on the PS4 or the Xbox One. Guess what? They're not going to buy those fucking games.
They'll go to the other SKU.
History has already said that, so don't do that again.
Yeah.
I don't, so what, okay, I know we're running out of time here, but real quick, what do you think would be Nintendo's underlying reasoning why they're delaying this to 2019? Are they unsure of putting it out, or is there some technical reasons, as in there's not enough cards around?
I think they're just waiting for a better deal, and that's it. They're just waiting for a better deal on being able to buy the chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, because the thing is that when it becomes they're mostly manufacturing 64 gig cards over 32 gig cards, or the amount of 64 gig NAND chips are being manufactured on the same or comparable levels as the 32 gig, then it should drop in price. It's just simple supply and demand at that point. All right. right now, since all of the smartphones and all of the tablets and all the mobile devices are looking for that 64 gig NAND, that's at a premium. That's going to be the most expensive thing out there. Of course, you're just looking for a better deal.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. You want to go ahead and wrap us up, Great Mouse? You're the one who opened this up.
Yeah, sure. Glad that you joined us for this little talk of. I'm not used to doing the wrap-ups here. We're the three middle-aged guys, and glad that you joined us up to this point. Tell us if you like it. Thumbs up. Subscribe to our channels.